In the annals of human ingenuity, few machines command the raw respect and awe of the great locomotive. They are more than just steel and fire, they are monuments to the limits we dared to push. For over a century, engineers relentlessly pursued a single goal: power. To move more, to go faster, to conquer mountains and deserts with sheer mechanical force. Today we delve into the heart of that ambition. We are counting down the 10 largest and most powerful locomotives humanity ever placed on rails. The sheer size of these iron giants, the articulated steam beasts, the colossal diesel electrics, and the specialized monsters will challenge everything you think you know about rail travel. First, a challenge for you. Before we even start, hit that subscribe button and tell us in the comments which locomotive you think will claim the title of the undisputed king. Can the big boy be beaten? Let's find out. We begin with a machine that defied its time and shattered expectations, proving that raw power wasn't limited to sheer bulk. This is the EMD DDA40X, a sleek 4-4-4 steam engine born in Hungary in 1937, designed not for pulling coal but for blistering speed. Its white notation, the 444, denotes 4 leading wheels, 4 coupled drive wheels, and 4 trailing wheels, giving it remarkable stability at velocity. But don't let its comparatively slender frame fool you. This was a technological pioneer. The Speed Demon was designed by the renowned Hungarian engineer Ferenc Liptak, specifically to haul heavy express passenger trains across the flat plains of Hungary at phenomenal speeds. It wasn't the largest, but it possessed immense power-to-weight ratio and a groundbreaking streamlined casing that dramatically reduced air resistance, a true marvel of pre-war European design. Its confirmed top speed approached 140 km/h, 87 linya, making it one of the fastest of its time, easily outperforming many contemporary designs built for sheer brute force. Its service life was tragically cut short by the chaos of World War II, during which the original locomotive was lost. However, its memory and its engineering legacy persist, demonstrating that the pursuit of speed was just as intense as the hunt for tonnage capacity. It showed that streamlined design could unlock hidden power. From high-speed runs, we turn to the grueling, water-scarce environment of South Africa. Meet the South African Railways Class 25, a powerful and unique 484 steam locomotive designed to tackle one of the continent's most challenging problems: water scarcity. Introduced in the 1950s, this wasn't just a powerful engine, it was a self-sustaining ecosystem built on rails. The true genius of the Class 25 was its revolutionary condensing tender. In most steam engines, steam is exhausted into the atmosphere, wasting precious water. The Class 25, however, routed the exhaust steam through massive air-cooled radiators in its tender, turning it back into water for reuse. This allowed the engine to travel vast distances, up to 800 miles, without taking on water, making it the perfect workhorse for the arid Karoo region. The 25C variant, the condensing model, made the engine heavier and bulkier, adding to its impressive stature. This feature was absolutely critical for maintaining the efficiency of South Africa's vast railway network, often hauling heavy freight and passenger traffic. The sheer reliability and operational savings the condensing system provided allowed the Class 25 to remain in service for decades, long after many other countries had transitioned away from steam. Its 4-8-4 wheel arrangement provided the perfect balance of pulling power and high-speed running capability. Back in the United States, we encounter one of the most beautiful and effective steam engines ever conceived, the Norfolk and Western J-Class 611. Built by the N&W's own shops, this 484 streamlined queen was the crown jewel of their passenger service. Combining elegance with incredible power, the J-Class could maintain speeds over 100 km/h while effortlessly pulling heavy passenger consists, making it an icon of American railroading. The N&W 611 was a masterclass in balance and efficiency. Its design prioritized high-speed stability and low maintenance, boasting roller bearings on all axles, a state-of-the-art feature for the 1950s. While not the largest by overall dimensions, its horsepower output was phenomenal for a conventional 4-8-4, ensuring it remained punctual regardless of the terrain of the Appalachian Mountains. The engine was an immediate success, known for its smooth ride and capacity to handle the fastest schedules across the N&W lines. What makes the 611 truly legendary is its survival and subsequent return to mainline service. It's one of the few steam locomotives that has run at speeds that rivaled and often exceeded modern diesel passenger units, proving the enduring capability of its design. The streamlining was more than cosmetic. It was a functional part of its high-speed performance, setting a visual standard for passenger trains that is still admired today. The 611 represents the peak of standardized high-performance steam passenger technology in the U.S. Next, we honor the pioneering spirit of the Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe Railway with the Santa Fe 5000, known affectionately as the Madame Queen. This was a landmark locomotive, the first 210-4 type built in the United States and a true champion of heavy freight hauling. Delivered in 1930, the Madame Queen was designed to conquer the challenging grades of the Santa Fe's western lines, particularly the legendary Abo Canyon route in New Mexico. The 2-10-4 wheel arrangement, meaning 2 leading wheels, 10 massive driving wheels, and 4 trailing wheels, was revolutionary. The 10 driving wheels gave it an unparalleled adhesion and the sheer tractive effort required to pull heavy tonnage over steep inclines. The 4-wheel trailing truck was essential to support its enormous firebox, allowing the locomotive to generate the vast quantities of steam needed for a continuous, high-output operation. This combination of tractive effort and steaming capacity made it an instant success. The performance of the single Santa Fe 5000 was so spectacular that it led to the rapid development of the subsequent and highly successful 2-10-4 classes, often known as the Texas type, a name that later became common. The Madame Queen proved the 2-10-4 configuration was superior for the grueling tasks facing American heavy freight railroads in the era, setting the blueprint for massive freight power for the next 2 decades. Our journey now takes a dramatic turn across the Atlantic to the Soviet Union, where sheer size was often an expression of national pride and industrial might. Here is the Soviet AA-21, a steam locomotive so massive, its wheel arrangement is almost impossible to comprehend, the staggering 414-4. This single experimental engine holds the world record for the most driving axles on a single rigid frame, 7 sets of coupled wheels. The AA-21 was constructed in 1934 and was intended to be the ultimate freight hauler on the Soviet railway network. The logic behind the 14 driving wheels was simple: to maximize the engine's adhesion and distribute the colossal weight of the locomotive across the tracks. The Soviet engineering marvel utilized an articulated frame and a massive boiler to attempt to achieve unparalleled pulling power, a true statement of Stalinist industrial ambition. However, the AA-21 was a classic case of ambitious engineering exceeding practical infrastructure. Its immense size and rigid frame proved incompatible with the sharp curves and standard track infrastructure of the Soviet railways. The excessive length and weight resulted in frequent derailments and track damage, meaning it spent more time in the shop than on the main line. Despite its technical failure, its existence remains a potent symbol of the global race to build the biggest, most powerful machine imaginable. Not all power is measured in tractive effort. Sometimes it's measured in sheer, unstoppable force against nature. The Union Pacific Rotary. Snowplow is a highly specialized, self-contained machine designed for one purpose: to annihilate blizzards. While technically not a locomotive that pulls freight, it is a mobile powerhouse that clears the way for all other locomotives, demanding immense power to operate its main feature, the massive rotary blade. These plows were indispensable in the mountainous, snow-prone regions of the western United States. Unlike traditional wedge plows, which merely push snow aside, the rotary plow uses a colossal, rapidly spinning wheel fitted with blades to chew through drifts up to 20 feet high, throwing the snow clear of the tracks. The power required to turn this wheel against compacted snow and ice is immense, often requiring one or two powerful locomotives, often challengers or big boys, to push the plow forward and another one to power the rotary mechanism itself. The rotary snowplow represents the ultimate extreme of engineering adapted to environmental challenges. When the line was blocked, hundreds of tons of freight and passengers were paralyzed. The arrival of the Blizzard destroyer, often powered by a tender full of oil and fire, signaled the immediate resumption of traffic. It is a spectacular and terrifying machine in action, a true spectacle of raw mechanical work. We now arrive at one of the workhorses that truly define the American West, the Union Pacific Challenger, specifically the 3985. The Challenger, a 4-664 articulated locomotive, was developed in the 1930s to handle the rapidly increasing tonnage on the Union Pacific Railroad. It was slightly smaller than its famous cousin, the Big Boy, but designed for high-speed freight service, making it an incredibly versatile and powerful machine. The key to the Freight Titan's versatility lay in its articulated design, allowing the long wheelbase to navigate curves that would have been impossible for a rigid-frame locomotive of its size. The 4-664 configuration meant it had two sets of 6 coupled driving wheels, giving it enormous tractive effort, yet it was engineered to cruise comfortably at speeds nearing 70 mph, a remarkable feat for a machine built primarily for freight hauling. It became the backbone of UP's fast freight operations, seamlessly bridging the gap between slow, brute-force engines and high-speed passenger locomotives. The 3985 itself, one of the last Challengers built, has achieved a special legendary status in preservation. Its successful operation demonstrated that large articulated steam power could be highly efficient and adaptable. The Challenger proved that railroads needed a powerful machine that could haul colossal weight and maintain a respectable schedule, a crucial factor in the competitive U.S. rail market. If there is one locomotive that truly challenged the Big Boy for the title of most powerful steam locomotive, it is the Chesapeake and Ohio C&O H8 Allegheny. This 2-6-6-6 articulated monster was built specifically to haul heavy coal trains over the steep grades of the Allegheny Mountains in West Virginia, a task that demanded the absolute maximum output possible from a steam engine. The Allegheny's distinguishing feature was its 2-6-6-6 wheel arrangement, incorporating a unique 6-wheel trailing truck. This was necessary to support its massive, high-capacity firebox, which was the largest ever installed on a steam locomotive. This firebox was the engine's heart, designed to generate steam pressure at an incredible rate, pushing its horsepower output up to a claimed 7,500 horsepower. This immense power rating made it, arguably, the most powerful reciprocating steam locomotive ever built in terms of horsepower developed. The size of the Allegheny was astonishing. It was one of the heaviest and most intimidating locomotives ever to run, primarily serving the grueling coal traffic routes. Its raw power ensured that the C&O could move vital coal supplies efficiently, cementing its reputation as the power king of the eastern railroads. The rivalry between the Allegheny for horsepower and the Big Boy for tractive effort weight is one of the most famous debates in rail history. Stepping into the modern era, we encounter the true king of diesel electrics, the EMD DDA40X Centennial. Built by Electromotive Division, EMD, for the Union Pacific Railroad, this monumental locomotive was unveiled in 1969 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of the completion of the Transcontinental Railroad. It is to this day the longest single-unit diesel locomotive ever built. The Diesel Goliath is essentially two powerful diesel-electric units combined into one enormous 98-foot-long rigid frame. It was powered by two separate 16-cylinder diesel engines, providing a combined output of 6,600 horsepower. The DDA40X was designed for high-speed freight service, often working across the flat plains and mountainous regions of the Union Pacific system. Its sheer size required a modified version of the DD axle arrangement, which spread the weight and power across 8 axles. The Centennial demonstrated the peak capabilities of U.S. diesel engineering. It offered unparalleled reliability and required significantly less maintenance than the steam engines it replaced. The ability to haul the heaviest trains at higher speeds with a single crew was an economic game-changer for the railroad. Only 47 of these unique units were ever built, and their legacy remains unchallenged as the longest and one of the most powerful diesel locomotives in continuous service. We have arrived, holding the title that all others measure themselves against, the Union Pacific Big Boy. This colossal 4884 articulated steam locomotive is widely regarded as the largest and most powerful steam engine ever to operate globally. Built in the early 1940s, the Big Boy was designed for one overwhelming purpose: to haul 4,000-ton freight trains unassisted over the steepest grades of the Wasatch Mountains. Its engineering was simply staggering. The 4884 wheel arrangement means it had two massive engines built into one frame, giving it the ability to articulate and navigate curves. It measured over 132 feet long, including the tender, and developed an enormous 135,375 pounds of tractive effort, a figure that remains unmatched by almost any other locomotive ever conceived. It was the ultimate weapon in the battle against gravity and immense tonnage. The Big Boy was so effective that it fundamentally changed the logistics of the Union Pacific, making double-heading, using two locomotives, unnecessary on its toughest routes. Of the 25 built, 8 survive, including the famed UP 4014, which has been returned to operational status, thrilling crowds worldwide and proving that its decades-old design can still dominate the tracks. The Big Boy is not just a machine, it is a mechanical legend, the undisputed symbol of power on the rails. We've witnessed the Speed Demon, the Desert Workhorse, the Power King, and the Diesel Goliath. These 10 machines, from the rapid MAV 242-Z01 to the gargantuan Big Boy, represent the pinnacle of human engineering and the relentless quest for greater power. They remind us that before the age of computers, ingenuity was forged in fire and steel. They are living, breathing proof of what is possible when ambition meets mechanics. If you love this journey through railroad history, please like this video, share it with a fellow enthusiast, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the world's greatest machines. We are waiting for your vote in the comments.